part 2. Here we are in, you can't see it, but this is the 3 steps of the strategic making process. So now we're looking at how do we strategize, how do we look at our company in such a way that we can evaluate it effectively and then position it so that, again, we add more value for our customers and we are competing in a market that is favorable to us to help us get sustainable competitive advantage. And the first step is assess the need for strategic change. So usually we go through this process, we decide this is the way we want to move, we make action plans, we filter it down through the organization, and we're moving in that direction, and then we're tracking that, right? We're controlling, we're looking at how people are performing according to those plans, and at what time do we need to reassess those plans? Well, usually we continue to do environmental scanning, like we talked about before, and we also need to understand that we want to avoid what they call competitive inertia. So, in other words, competitive inertia is we've been competing and it's been working for us, and we've had above average profit margins, and everyone's happy, stocks are doing great, and we get complacent, and then we might not understand that there's some dissonance being generated between our strategic plan and what actually needs to happen, right? So the louder that dissonance gets, the more easily we can get over competitive inertia. Okay, step 2 is performing a SWOT analysis, and you guys will all get a chance to do that this semester. And then step 3 is once we have gone over what the strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats are, and notice strengths and weaknesses are internal. We're looking at the internal environment. Opportunities and threats are external. So if we have a bad CEO, right, and that's an internal weakness, it's not an opportunity, it's a weakness that we have to overcome. Opportunities are something that we see in the external environment that we can take advantage of, like, say, the government decides to give electric cars a $7,000 rebate if you buy one, right, new, to help encourage people to buy them. So are we in that market? Can we take advantage of that money that will elevate the worth of our cars? That type of thing. Okay, step 3, so then we're going to choose the strategic alternative that we can see from our SWOT analysis. And when you do your SWOT analysis for my class, 50% of the grade just goes into the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The other 50% is helping me choose and helping me as a customer see where I need to go and what steps I need to take first and second and why. And we build off the things we learn from our SWOT analysis and give those recommendations. And that's what a consultant does. And if I'm a business, I'm hiring a consultant, just giving me my strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats, that's good, but I really need to know how to change and what direction and what priority to be better and to be more competitive in my marketplace. Okay. Assess. Difficult because there's lots of uncertainty in business. That's why we practice environmental scanning. One of the things that Warren Buffett does is he reads at least 3 papers every day because he's always in that environmental scanning mode. Okay. Also, top management are often slow to recognize the need for strategic change. And that's what we call competitive inertia. And we also need to know, be aware of strategic dissonance. And that's this idea that we have the strategy and it has been working. We have been receiving those profit margins. And now something's in the environment that will threaten or weaken that position. And we need to catch on to that as quickly as we can. situational analysis. Now there's extra videos that talk specifically about what these are. I'm going to remind you again, strengths and weaknesses are internal. Opportunities and threats are external. Don't confuse the two, because I grade off on that. Okay, when we do the internal analysis, we're looking at what are our distinct competences. What do we do really well or better than our competitors? For instance, Salt Lake Community College. What do they do better than their competitors? They offer small classrooms. They offer a really good price point. There's some other things that they offer. What are they? And what are their core capabilities? These might be less visible, right? But there are things or routines or structures in place that help the organization perform better. Let me see if I can get this a little bit. There, maybe. Sorry if that's... Okay. So know what distinctive competences and core capabilities are. Looking on the outside. Okay, internal analysis, external. Environmental scanning, I've mentioned that many times. Switch off the whatever music and go to NPR, listen to the news, or go to a news radio station. Be careful about really biased news radio stations, like I don't know, on TV, Fox is usually very conservative and MSNBC is really liberal. I'm not sure where CNN is now, but pay attention to what kind of news you're getting and where you're getting it from. We want a very non-biased news base so we can effectively do our environmental scanning. Strategic group. This is a group of companies that are in the in our competitive marketplace that we compete on a regular basis. So if I'm McDonald's, my strategic group would be those companies that are closest to the customer set that I'm trying to encourage to come into my shop. So these might be McDonald's would be probably Burger King and Wendy's, Carl's Jr.'s, maybe Arby's. You get the picture. Okay, the core firm are central companies in our strategic group. So out of the strategic group, there might be a couple that we would consider core. So we might have 8 in our strategic group, and there are 2 of them that I'm really looking at. And that might be for McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Right. Now, Taco Bell might be in the strategic group, but they have a little different niche, so I might not include them in my core firm. And then secondary firms use strategies that are related to us, but different from our core. If I'm a low-cost, consistent McDonald's type of business, secondary food groups would be, or competitors would be, people with a low price point, but they're really differentiated. So secondary firms would be for McDonald's probably like Habits, Five Guys, Red Robin, right? They have similar products, and but they have a higher price point, right? Another core firm that McDonald's might be taking a particular interest in the West is In-N-Out, right? Okay, I think I'm going to stop there and then we'll move on.